What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I have Colonel Dreyden Gordon. Oh, you know who Colonel Dreyden Gordon is. He's been on the podcast before, but we're going to catch up with him and find out what's going on in the world. Yeah. Stop the world. That's a little hint of what's happening in the in the world of Colonel Gordon, Dreyden Gordon. I love it. So stick around and you get to hear a little bit more about what's happening. This week's shows, I have two public shows for you, my loyal friends. I have the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam at the Rab on Friday night. That's my usual Friday night gig. I've been there, I'm there usually 48, 50 weeks out of the year playing for you, and you get to be the stars of the show. I said Video Dance Party, and I said Karaoke Jam. It's a little concert starring each and every one of you. You get to be the stars of the show, at least for a few minutes, at least for a song or two or three, depending on how many people show up at the show. Last week, it was crazy. So many singers, so many pool players. We got 10 diamond style pool tables over at the Rab. In fact, they have a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, check out the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. They got some drinks. They got some food, good food. The more you eat, the more you can drink. That's me. That's science, okay? Don't look it up. The more you eat, the more you can drink. Science, okay. Fuzzy science. KeysDAN science. So come on out to the Rab Friday night from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. And then on Saturday, I'll be at the Choctaw VFW Saturday night for the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. I said karaoke once again. You got the stage. The stage is yours. You get to be one of the stars of the show at the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam at the Choctaw VFW, Choctaw, Arkansas. And they got pool tables, they got drinks, they got snacks, and they got a big, giant dance floor. Yeah, it's always a good time. And they got veterans telling stories, okay? You go sit next to a veteran at the bar, he's going to tell you some stories. Might not be war stories. Might be how he cut his grass this morning. Or the blades on it. Yeah, the blades on his tractor aren't working just right. Or he planted some new flowers. Hey, you might get some stories from a veteran. Thank you, veterans. So I'll be there on Saturday night from 9 p.m. until 1 in the AM. Oh, yeah. Always a good time at the Choctaw VFW. Saturday night. That's 2 shows this week. All right, let's get into it with Colonel Dreyden Gordon. I got him on this Zoom. So if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Zooming Colonel Dreyden Gordon now. Well, stop the world, ladies and gentlemen. I got the Colonel, the only Colonel I need from Kentucky, Colonel Dreyden Gordon, in my face once again. Good to have you on the What Makes You Famous podcast, my man. What have you been doing?
Oh, thank you so much for having me back once again. It's been a little while since we got the opportunity to talk, and been looking forward to coming back and visiting with you and visiting with all your listeners out there. Like you said, my name's Dreyden Gordon. We've been burning the roads. We have been very busy here lately, and I am so thankful for it. I love getting out there on the roads and working. I love being busy. I put thousands of miles on the car just in the last month. Been all over Tennessee and Kentucky and everywhere else, and we got a lot more places to go.
Yeah, but you've been in solo and collaboration as far as I can see. You document it pretty well on your YouTube page, and I'm very happy about that. I appreciate the content that you put out there, whether you like that term or not. But you put out stuff on your own, and you put out stuff with the people that you're working with. The latest release that you put on YouTube was with Elijah Boggs. Is that a famous name? What has Elijah Boggs been doing?
Elijah is a friend of mine. He lives over here real close to me. He works in my band when we're out on the road, and we do a lot of things together. We sure do. That YouTube page, we're probably a little bit behind on some of the things that need to be put on there. That's on me, but we try to keep most everything updated. But every once in a while, when we get real busy like we are right now, we get a little bit behind. But no, Elijah's a good friend of mine. So, we do a lot of collaboration together.
Well, it's tough, Dreyden, Dreyden Gordon. It's tough to do it by yourself, to upload these things. Sometimes I'll set it and forget it. Like sometimes, in particular, this podcast that we're doing right now as we speak, when I load it up, I'll probably go out for a little bit while it's loading and find something else to do and probably get into some other trouble. But you got to find time to press upload. You got to find time to formulate the title and the hashtags. And it's hard to navigate the social media world, but you have to do it in this day and age. It used to be you could put out a flyer or have your friends throw flyers out in the streets, but nowadays you got to be social media savvy to get anywhere. And you are, man. You are. The content that you put out there is worth it. It's very
thank you. Thank you very much. And a lot of that help with that content comes from Jill Santabanez that with the record label Nashville Entertainment Weekly Records couldn't do half of what I get done without her. And so thankful for her and TJ and what all they do.
Oh, they are amazing. I've been involved with them and in collaboration with them, to use that word again, for quite some time. And the people that they send me are top notch, just like yourself, man.
Well, thank you. Wonderful.
The thing that I notice when I'm watching the videos is how effortless you make it seem. All right. I've seen some guitarists, and I don't fault them for looking at the neck of their guitar to make sure that they got their fingers in the right place, making sure that they got the chord. Oh, okay, that's the G, that's the E, but you never look at as far as I can see, you never look at the neck of your guitar. What gives, man? Are you a magic man?
Well, I don't do a lot of that fancy lead stuff. We do things real traditional, kind of the old mountain style of doing things. A lot of more straightforward and rhythm and things like that. But I don't know. I just never really got in the habit of, when I learned what I was doing, I guess I tried to kind of memorize it, When I was first learning, I spent a lot of time playing in front of a mirror. That way I could kind of see what I was doing my own self, And I would say that's where a lot of that came from, that not looking.
As much as I mess with this computer, and I never took a typing class, but I can type with two fingers, and two fingers pretty fast because I know where all the letters are. And I imagine a guitarist learns where all the chords are, where your fingers need to be, just like a typist needs. There's so many analogies and similarities that you can do. I guess we might have cut out for a second, but no big deal.
Yeah.
But there's so many similarities in people that work with their hands. A guy that works with his hammer, he knows how not to hit his thumb.
Yeah.
Do people even swing hammers anymore? I hear it's all nail guns now, but that's a whole nother story.
That's another story for another time, isn't it?
Yeah, but okay, like I said, you do solo and you do collaboration. I love your collaborations. You had one with the Clinch Mountain Boys, and you have another one with Danny Paisley and Southern Grass. You work well with others, Dreyden Gordon, and I appreciate that so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been fortunate to get to work with some of my heroes in this business. I spent a lot of time early on working with the late, great Melvin Goins. He was kind of one of the pioneers of this style of music. as well as Dr. Ralph Stanley, Larry Sparks, a whole host of wonderful, wonderful top tier musicians and artists and entertainers that have been so kind and so gracious to kind of take me under their wings and to show me things here and there and to help me out just a little bit. But I've been fortunate and very blessed to be able to do that and to get on the stage with a lot of those wonderful heroes.
Well, you say you've been traveling, putting a lot of miles on your vehicle between Kentucky and Nashville. Nashville, I guess, is the place you ought to be. But you play that Kentucky style of bluegrass. I imagine you're real popular in Kentucky itself, man. Just because, all right, even if you haven't heard, and I'm talking to my loyal listener, even if you hadn't heard Dreyden Gordon's music, you think about any Kentucky bluegrass that you may have heard. Yeah, Dreyden Gordon plays it that much better. All right, with precision.
That really means a whole lot to me. This style of music was really my first love as a child, and that's what I've continued to try to stay true to my roots. We might branch off and do something a little different here and something a little different there, but it always comes back home to that old Kentucky style of mountain bluegrass music, the old traditional way that the pioneers did it a long time ago, and that's what we're still proud to be doing because there's still a hunger, there's still a thirst for it out there in the audience. Where so many people have faded away from doing that, we try to bring it back because I think people still enjoy it from time to time, and I know I enjoy playing it.
Well, this Saturday night I'll be at the Choctaw VFW in Choctaw, Arkansas, and I get to really spread my wings and okay, on Friday nights I'm at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, and that is kind of they want some pop music, whether it be the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, today's music. I sometimes mix it up, but at the VFW, that is a place where I got some old timers and I got some youngins in there. And the old timers might be telling some stories, some war stories, some of the combat they were in.
Yes, sir.
Some of them, get into that, and I'll play music that they enjoy. And when I play a bluegrass song, and I'm going to try to find one of these videos that you have that's put together, and I want to put that up on a screen because I play videos as well. And I want to play some of that bluegrass music and see if, like at one of your shows, one of these old guys starts doing that Rocky Top type dancing. That's what do they call that? Scooting? What do they call that?
Well, as far as what I know, you're talking about clogging, I guess, would be what you're talking about, and that's really how I first cut my teeth in the music business. At the age of 2, I started dancing, clogging, and then about the age of 7 is when I started singing on stage.
Oh yeah, and for my loyal listener, they already know who you are. You've been on this podcast before.
Well, thank you.
We talked about your life up to now and where you were really heading, but I guess today we're kind of stopping the world, if you will. Is that what we're here to talk about? This new album? Tell me about the Stop the World album. Let's talk about that.
All righty, I'd be glad to. This album right here has really been a labor of love. It's been a long time in the making. It's been a long time coming. It is full of old songs that I think people have forgotten about, from the hits of yesteryear to the deep dive catalog songs that were never hits from yesteryear, such as Play the Music Louder or I'm a Coming Home, things like that. Of course, Stop the World was a big hit for Johnny and Jack, as well as Patsy Cline. I think Merle Haggard had a cut on it. A lot of people have done that song, so and that was a song that I just thought was so fun to do, so fun to sing. So that's where the title track came. But in addition to that, this album also has some brand new original songs and some things that are done in that true blue Kentucky bluegrass fashion, kind of styled after the days of yesterday, and the sounds of yesteryear, like what you might have heard on a record coming out 60 or 70 years ago, but the song's only 6 months or a year old,
Well, you're a younger person, so I never even knew that people were still making albums. I thought it was all singles. You put a single out and you buy it on Apple or Spotify for like 99 cents, and it's a single after singles. What's the advantage of making an album these days? I know that you put out on your Facebook page, at least I saw that you put out some of the artwork, and that was one of the fantastic things about having albums in my day was, when I was on the radio, and I know you're on the radio too. I want to talk a little bit about that. But when I was on the radio, I would take an album, a 12-inch record, open it up if it had an opening, but if not, look in the front, look in the back, liner notes, read some stuff about the band, about the song, and kind of visualize and maybe spit out, while, let's see, this band was thinking about a certain kind of thing when he wrote All Alone to Cry, he wanted to, he was thinking about crying, and he had an alcohol problem or whatever it was that made this song, and then I'll put the record on. And that's what I miss about records. And I guess you're making CDs. I saw actual physical CDs. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of genres of music where the CD has died off or the album has died off. But as for now, it's still selling in bluegrass. Of course, a lot of that attributes to a little bit of an older audience on typically, but we're seeing a lot of younger people getting out there in the crowds, getting out there doing it, playing music. A lot of these younger people are really starting to open their eyes and see that, bluegrass music is it's kind of neat once in a while, and I'm proud to be a part of it, in addition to, you've seen probably where younger people are resurging into the old records, buying the old 12-inch vinyl records like you was talking about. And, they're still buying some CDs here and there. And so we're glad, as long as I've got a record table, we're probably going to have records on that record table in addition to the T-shirts and hats and everything else that we sell. But as far as the CD goes, it is you lose so much when you put it out only on streaming, I think, because you lose, like you talked about, you lose those liner notes. You lose the credits. I mean, I've got credits, who played on what song, everything like that on the inside of that record. And it's just something you can hold in your hand. I can't sign a single, it's on Apple Music. I can sign a physical CD. And the other side of it is obviously I'm not in it for money, or I got out a long time ago, but the amount of money that you make on streams compared to selling a CD is very, very different. It would take probably 50,000 streams to make up for one or two CDs.
No, and I tell people, if they want to support their local artist, go to one of the shows, and if you got a merch table, such as yourself, go get some of that merch. Buy a T-shirt, because he'll make more from that T-shirt than that music that he's making, that great music that's making you feel good, getting you up off your couch and dancing, off your couch, out the door, and to a Dreyden Gordon show, a Colonel Dreyden Gordon. Okay, I talked to my mama this morning, and she said, I told her, oh, I have a podcast. She asked me what I was doing. I said, oh, I have a podcast this morning with Colonel Dreyden Gordon. He's a young man. I think you were 20 something, maybe 20.
I'm 21. Yes, sir. 21.
Okay. And I said, you were a colonel from Kentucky. Only colonel I need from Kentucky, because but she asked, how did he become a colonel? And I know we talked a little bit about that, but I wanted to, how did you become a colonel? Was there a test that you had to take, or I know it was the governor.
I probably failed it because I'm not very good at taking tests. No, the Colonels is a wonderful organization that is comprised of people that want to see the betterment of the state of Kentucky and help to the nonprofit of the state of Kentucky. And they do so much for wonderful organizations throughout the state and really just within the state. But how you become a colonel is you have to be nominated by another colonel, and you have to have contributions significant to the state of Kentucky or the betterment of the state of Kentucky. And then the governor has to sign off on it and appoint you one.
All right, Mama, that part was for you. Okay. All right. I know she'll be listening to this, but okay, let's talk about radio. I miss terrestrial radio so much. I guess the last time I was on the air on terrestrial radio was going on, it's got to be going on 10 years now.
Really?
When I was down in Little Rock I was doing sports radio, and I don't know much about sports, but thankfully I had some athletes, Arkansas Razorbacks, and some professional broadcasters that knew about or sportscasters, as I guess I'm a professional broadcaster. At least that's what I kind of call myself, even though I kind of stutter a lot. But I went to school for this. I graduated from broadcasting school, but as long as I had them kind of leading the way, and then I was working. Okay, and I know you know how radio stations work. You work at two of them. It's probably one room here and one room over there in the same building. Well, I worked on this station, and it was a conservative political. I was running the board for a conservative political station over here. And then if I walked to the next room, it was a sports station. And really, I don't know much about either, but I learned a lot being in those rooms with those people. So tell me about the Go radio, the two different aspects of Go radio, and how you fall into that, Colonel Dreyden Gordon.
Absolutely. Well, Go Radio is Carter County Broadcasting, which is comprised of two radio stations and a television station. On the AM dial, you have 1370 AM, which is also connected with 100.9 FM. That's your classic country and your bluegrass music, which is on the air 7 days a week, and as well as news and things. Whereas the other side of the dial, 99.7 FM, WUGO, that is your adult contemporary hits, everything from Elton John to Adele and there and about beyond. But, I do a lot of work in the news and a little bit of work in the disc jockey field of it. And I love it. I have a big old time.
That's fantastic, man. Now, I worked at AM 1080 down in Coral Gables, Florida, just outside of Miami. AM 1080 was the oldest station in Miami, and I think it was born in the 60s, kind of like maybe the Go Radio was. If I saw on their website,
59.
59. Okay, it came from 1959. So having those stations, is the board from 1959? Because I remember AM 1080. We had pots that they're dials. There weren't many buttons. So there were dials on there.
That has been replaced, but the microphone is still original.
Tell me, are you using an EV20? I mean, that's from the 70s. It
is an old RCA DX77.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like an I haven't looked that one up, but it sounds like an ancient microphone. How much breathing is in that? How many germs? How many different mouths have been in front of that microphone?
Well, it's kind of funny you ask. When somebody comes in, we give them a little tour of the station or something, and we always show them that microphone. Of course, it's an old ribbon mic is what it is. And you can see from back in the days long ago when they were allowed to smoke in there, that ribbon is just coated in nicotine. I mean, it absolutely is. But we have had some wonderful folks that have worked there and been there in the past and different things that have, like you said, breathed into that microphone. For example, Tom T. Hall was a disc jockey there for a little while, just long enough to claim him. We had another disc jockey by the name of Moon Mullins. He went on to form a very successful bluegrass band and a chain of radio stations in Ohio, and his son Joe Mullins. But he worked there. We had somebody that went on to work for, I believe it was either ABC or NBC. I don't remember off the top of my head. That worked there as a news anchor. And actually, there was a time years ago where Loretta Lynn walked into the station and handed her first record to the disc jockey that was playing, and stood there and talked with him on the air in that same microphone while he played her first record.
See, I miss that kind of stuff. Being on terrestrial radio, my first taste of it was back in the 1900s, 1986 on WKPX 88.5, which was a college radio. And this is the first taste that I had. And people coming in and handing me records. Hey, check out this record. You're going to want to play it on your show. And I would get people from the record industry. Sometimes the artists themselves would come in the building. And all through the years, it's been like that. I've met so many people that I don't want to name drop right now. But if you look real closely on some of the pictures on the internet, KeysDAN and them, the people that I've met, the greatness that I've touched, not just you, Colonel Dreyden Gordon, we've never met in the flesh, but I hope that changes one of these days.
Absolutely.
You're talking about...
I'd love to get back down towards Arkansas and work a little bit more. It's been a while since we've been to Arkansas, and if you know of anybody down there that's looking for a hillbilly act, let them know.
Well, there's always TCs. That's the Grand Ole Opry West is what it used to be. Yeah. I think is what they. I don't know if it was like a colloquial term or it was actual the Grand Ole Opry West. Right now, it's more of a rock and roll bar.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing any music that comes in there, they want live music all the time. I've tried to go in there with my DJ equipment, and they said, no, we're live music venue, and I said I can respect that because anyone that plays guitar, that plays the drums, that plays piano, that plays the harmonica, that plays the blues harp, boing 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 boing, is so much more talented than me pressing my buttons. Well, I used to have the records, 2 turntables and a microphone. Now it's like a digital Wheels of Steel where I get to have every song ever made at my fingertips within 99 cents. I have it.
Yes.
And it's and this is the symbiotic relationship that I have with people like you is you make a new song and I play it at the club.
Well,
at the VFW, I suspect I'm going to be playing some Dreyden Gordon, and I might sneak one in at the Rab.
I hope they enjoy it.
Yeah, I might sneak one in over at the Rab with these younger folks, and well, they're not that much younger. They're in their 40s. Is the median age, but some of them are in their early 20s, like yourself, and some of them are all the way up to 70s and 80s. But everybody enjoys music, and if I throw a little bluegrass in there and see if somebody starts clogging, and I'll say, and they'll go, "Who is that?" And I'll say, "Oh, that's Colonel Dreyden Gordon," and that's my job is to get it out on the air. And I guess you're playing both sides of the coin because not only you're making the music, but you're also promoting the music on the air. Do you get to play your own songs?
And I appreciate so much what you do and people like you do to promote. Smaller independent artists such as myself, and the other artists on the same label as me, we so appreciate all your efforts and all your hard work and your generosity in promoting our music.
Oh man, it's a blessing. It's all pure selfishness on my end because I wonder how people get to be who you are. It's magic to me that you can play the guitar and sing at the same time. And not only that, but play and not even look at the guitar itself. You are so, it's become second nature for you. It feels like it's like another language. You're speaking one language with your guitar and singing a whole nother language with your actual song.
Well, thank you very much. That really means a lot.
But it's true. And I'm sure other people that look at it and see how, all right, I guess it takes a lot of training, and you've been training since you were 2 years old, whether it be dancing or any other kind of entertainment performance. You've been training for this your whole life. So you've got 19 years of experience being a 21-year-old man in the entertainment business. And we, the public, we get to reap the benefits of that. And you just keep getting better. You just keep getting better and better.
Thank you very much. Like I said, that means a whole lot to me, and we're just going to keep putting out more music. We're going to keep hitting them roads, doing as many shows as we possibly can. We've got a lot of things still left to come this year. We're already looking ahead into 2026. Got a lot of things coming in that I think people are going to be not only surprised about, but I think that they're going to be able to enjoy it as well.
Now, where did you record the Stop the World album? Was that at a certain studio, or did each track get recorded at different places?
So, the technology that we have these days is phenomenal, and one of those wonderful things that we love with progress of things. But I recorded my parts in Salt Lick, Kentucky, at the Salt Mine Recording Studios, and some of the other people, they came in there and recorded their parts there. Some of them recorded them at other studios wherever they was closest to where they lived, or some of them had studios in their own houses. So that's just the power of the technology and the wonder of email.
So have you met all the people that are on your record?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, you've like pressed the flesh, touched, shook their hands, and okay, that's cool. Because
this album is comprised with some wonderful folks that I'm proud to call friends, and we don't always not everybody that I live real close to. It's a little easier just to go in, do my part, or them go in, do their part, and everything. And we ship it back and forth to each other, via email.
Well, speaking of magic, who's the magical engineer that put all this together and made it sound just right?
Absolutely, that would be Jason Hale. He is a wizard on those boards, and he's also the gentleman you will hear on the record playing bass and singing baritone. He works with Jake Worthington out there on the road playing country music all the time these days. But so blessed, so fortunate to have him on that project with me.
Now, do you have input, or do you give notes when he sends you a track? What do you think of this? Is it a back and forth?
It's well, as far as the song selection goes, I'm pretty much the one that selects the songs. I do a lot of the producing. The arrangements and things like that. I do pretty much all the arrangements on the songs. He does the mixing and the mastering and things like that. But as far as the arrangements go, that's pretty much what you're hearing is pretty much how I wrote it down. So.
Now, is there a progression? Okay, I'm just looking at the song titles. It looks like there's a beginning and there's an end, because the first track is Hello, City Limits. You're like saying hello. And then the last track is I'll catch a train. You're on your way out. So was that on purpose?
To an extent, it was an accidental purpose. We'll put it that way. When I selected the songs, I wasn't even thinking anything about that. But when we went to put them in order on the album, I kind of saw that and I thought, you know what, we ought to have that one first and that one last,
And is there any other progression in the middle, or judging by what
really
you said?
No, it's just there's not a lot of progression. I think it's just we try to keep a good mix of fast and slow, and try to keep people entertained and not let them get too bored with one style too long.
Well, I'm seeing it now, because Hello, City Limits, and then I'm Coming Home. It's like, I'm Coming Home maybe should have been the second to last song if that was the theme that you were going for, but you weren't, and I'm glad. It's a happy accident. One of my favorite movies, and only because it was the only video cassette that I had at my grandmother's house. So whenever I stayed at my grandmother's house, I got to watch Silverado. Okay. And Silverado is a cowboy movie, like a newer cowboy movie from the 90s, I guess. Maybe the 80s, probably the 80s. But anyway, the beginning is Kevin Costner. No, wait. Okay. He says, pleased to meet you. No, it's Kevin Kline says, pleased to meet you. That's the first line. And the last line is Kevin Costner saying, we'll be back. So they had that same kind of a theme. There you go. Where it was a hello and I'll catch a train. That's fantastic, man. I like it, though. Now, is it all bluegrass? I haven't had the pleasure of listening to all of it. It is
110% authentic, coal-fired Appalachian bluegrass music made in America.
That's fantastic.
And, that's what I love, and that's what I like to try to play, and that's what we're still playing out there on the roads. So it's all bluegrass, banjo, fiddle, mandolin, guitar, bass, all that good stuff, high tenor singing, lonesome songs, and sad singing. So...
Oh, man, but it's not all sad. Even people that play the blues, and I do get a chance to talk to some folks that play the blues.
There's some happy songs in there. There's some happy, there's some sad. There's a good mix. We just like the sound of lonesome, though, around here.
Well, I know you played with somebody that played with Elton John, and I remember he had a song. I guess that's why they call it the blues. Laughing like children, living like lovers, rolling like thunder. Elton John don't know nothing about the blues. But I guess you played with one of his bandmates at some point, maybe?
I don't know. Well,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe. I don't know. I'd
Maybe,
have to
maybe
go back
not.
and look through notes.
Somebody was playing with him, and then you got the opportunity to play with him. But maybe I'm misremembering or misthinking. I'm not reading that. I'm kind of
No, you're good.
keeping
You're
that in
good.
my head. But I know that you brushed with greatness. You've not only been on stage on your own, but you've also played with people that have played with people on different levels. And I know
yeah.
you've gotten to this level not by yourself. I mean, you do have a team between Jill and TJ over at Nashville Records. They're helping to push you a little further. Who actually presses the CDs? And you said you're going to have some vinyl records as well. Who presses that these days?
Well, there are companies all over the United States still doing it, still making it. We get ours from a company out of Florida. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but they're a company out of Florida. They make the CDs, put the shrink wrap on them, and send them on their way. Send them back up here to me. So,
well, that's a whole lot better than when I was making CDs when computers were new, I guess, or computers were just coming in their own. We could record, or we could make our own CDs, 15 tracks or so, and then if you got real fancy, you could get a label maker and slap that thing on there. You had to have the circle that fit just perfectly, so the label would sit just right, and you wouldn't get it crooked with bubbles in it. No, it was a labor intensive, but a labor of love, especially if you were promoting certain people like yourself. If I had a track of yours and I wanted to include that on the mixtape,
oh yes.
Even before that, we were recording music off the radio. You had to have a tape recorder, press play and record. Music has come so far and so ubiquitous in this world, so easy to get. People ask me at parties, "Hey, what songs do you have?" I said, "If it's out there, I'll get it for you. If I haven't already bought it, I will buy it for you right now. Oh, I need that Colonel Dreyden song, Stop the World. I'll buy it for you right now." Now, is it available as singles on Spotify and Apple as well?
Oh yeah. It's we have everything should be on all the streaming platforms at this point. Sometimes there's a day or two delay when it comes out, but everything should be up there by now. Everything's on Apple Music and iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Yeah, Pandora, everything.
Now, with these movies, a lot of movies come out, and they're very eclectic on their soundtracks. Have you submitted your songs to any of these movies? You missed the opportunity for "Oh Brother, We're Out Now."
Not necessarily. But I've been proud to be featured in a few movies and a few films. Some very special projects that are near and dear to my heart, such as a movie called "From the Cowboy's Boot Heel," which is a movie about the life of Rob McNerlin, who is a friend of mine and a hero of mine, kind of playing cowboy style music, country music. In that movie there was Marty Stewart, there was Jor McAlkinnon with leftover tuna, hot tuna. Sorry, I'll get it right here in a second.
Well, now it's leftover.
There's another movie called Stages and Waves that I was proud to be featured in that came out a few years ago. So both of them are features on PBS and different things like that. So.
Oh, that's nice that you have the ability to branch out, and hopefully that becomes part of your money making part. Because you can do it as a labor of love, but you got to pay your bills as well. You got to keep yourself in piped shirts and cowboy hats and guitar strings. They're not cheap. Okay, they cost some money, but it's nice, man, and you have the ability for people to get your merchandise. You have a website, right?
Absolutely. We do have a website. The link works sometimes it don't. I don't know why, but just go to Google and type in my name, and it should come first or second thing. Of course, if you can't find it, you can find the link to it on all the social media websites like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff.
All right, then. Dreyden Gordon. Wait, I think it's DreydenGordon.com, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Fantastic. Oh, and you're right. The link from your Facebook did not work. Can't be reached. Why?
Okay.
Why?
Well, I'm not sure what it is. Some days it works, some days it don't. We need to get that figured out. We've been trying to figure it out for a long time. I don't know what it is. One of those wonderful technology glitches.
Yeah, for a long time from Google, if you tried to click KeysDAN.com from Google, it led you to a pharmaceutical site from China. What? Crazy. No.
You know the struggle then. You know the struggle.
The struggle is real. That's technology. And I think I've kept up with it. I was working with computers back in 1986 and even before that, I had the Apple II Lisa in school that I was training on. So I've been around computers and technology, and I've grown with it, and I've clawed my way through. So, are you the one that does all your social media on your own? Do you let some of your team or maybe even your lovely girlfriend, she take care of it?
No, a lot. I do a lot of it, but a lot of it also comes from Jill with Nashville Entertainment Weekly Records. Just like I said, so proud to be working with them, and she helps me so much on a lot of that social media stuff. So, like I said, I really couldn't do it without her.
I know I brought her up just briefly. How's the love life?
Wonderful, wonderful. Just a happy bliss.
I know. I see your smiling faces in your pictures there. There she is right there smiling. Yeah. Hey, so if you keep her smiling, she keeps you smiling. That's the pursuit of happiness attained. America.
Absolutely. I just keep remembering, I'm sorry, you're right. Yes, you can charge that.
Oh, you might as well just get married. You learn those. Those words. That's fantastic, man. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Colonel Dreyden Gordon, for being back on the What Makes You Famous podcast. Any shows coming up in the near future?
Oh, goodness, yeah. We've got a show on, I'm not sure when this airs, but we'll have a show on this coming Sunday. We've got a couple of shows next month, and I don't remember dates off the top of my head real well. If I had them in front of me, I'd be able to tell you, but we've got some things in Kentucky, some things in Ohio, things in Virginia, Michigan, just really all over the place. We've already been in 13 or 14 different states this year alone, and a different country. Went and worked in the Bahamas earlier this year, believe it or not. And so just always something coming up, and so excited for it.
What was the best place for people to find the updated, up-to-the-minute of shows? Is that the Instagram?
Social media, that's the best place. That's probably your number one friend for finding all that good, up-to-date stuff. Dreyden.official across all the boards that let us use the dot. If it don't have a dot, it's just Dreyden Official. But you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. I guess it's called X now. Threads, all that stuff. We are on it. If I'm not on it, you don't need to be on it either.
No, and I'm not calling it X. I'm calling it Twitter, like it should be. Yeah. I can't.
I said Twitter a while back, and somebody corrected me, and I thought, well, I probably need to update my vocabulary.
Yeah, what am I going to do? X at you? No, I tweet at you, okay? And I retweet. I don't X tweet or X you. It's crazy. Anyway, rebranding, right? Rebranding, like if Colonel Dreyden Gordon changed his name to Francis. Why? Why would you do that? Why?
Exactly.
All right, my man. Let's see. Okay, I have all your links. I'll put in the show notes down below so people can click away. Now, is it Facebook or Instagram is the best place to get that show on Sunday? I'll put this out before Sunday. And, because you time stamped it. What is that show on Sunday? Where are you going to be?
We will be in Olive Hill, Kentucky, a little gospel festival up there. We'll have some more information coming out on that on all the media outlets. That was kind of a last minute show that we picked up just a day or two ago, and really looking forward to being a part of that as well, though.
Well, I think that goes hand in hand. Do you play on the spiritual side a lot?
I do, yeah. I love to play gospel shows. I do a lot of churches. We do anything from a theater or a bar right down to a church, and church shows are some of my favorite ones to do. I love doing gospel music. We've even got a gospel song on that brand new record.
Yeah, I mentioned that you missed your opportunity to be in "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," but a lot of the music in there is gospel music. "I'll Fly Away" and and that kind of thing. But I appreciate that so much, man, and it feels good in the bluegrass field to have that. And when you have somebody talented as yourself that can just play it with precision and heart and feeling. I mean, yes, you can play it with precision and be robotic, but no, you actually put your feeling into it. You know that you grew up with this and it's a part of you. And I appreciate that so much, man.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, that's bluegrass and gospel, they go hand in hand, and that's a lot of what I grew up on and what I still love to do.
Oh man, and I know Elvis Day was just a few days ago, August 16th, and you were talking about microphones, and I was thinking about Sun Records. I took the tour at Sun Records, and at the end of the tour, they go, "Oh, that microphone has been held and sung into by some of the greats, and even Elvis Presley." And a girl grabbed it and licked it. Gross.
Oh, goodness.
But that's how much how much Elvis meant to her and means to a lot of people. But I'm sure you have fans that you mean the world to them as well.
Well,
and not just your mama and your daddy and any brothers and sisters, but and your girlfriend and what have you. But there's other people in this world that appreciate what you're doing, Dreyden Gordon, myself included. I don't know if I'm going to lick your microphone, but there is that possibility. I might want to share a molecule or two with Dreyden Gordon.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you now?
You don't have to lick the microphone. We can split a coffee.
Shake hands. Shake hands. Press the flesh.
There you go. Yeah.
Share some molecules. All right, man. Let's finish this thing off. I don't want this to be the last time we talk. I enjoyed myself immensely chatting with you.
I do too, each and every time.
All right. I always finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, maybe a mantra you wake up with in the morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Colonel Dreyden Gordon, give the last words for the people.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show again. It's always a pleasure, always a privilege. We look forward to talking to you each and every time. The best thing I can probably say is what I end a lot of the shows I do on the radio with, which is an old saying from Ernest Tubb: "Be better to your neighbors, and you'll have better neighbors." So there you go. We'll leave you with those kind words of wisdom.
Well, there you have it, party people. Colonel Dreyden Gordon. Buy that record. Stop the world. I don't care if you don't have a record player. Buy the record. Give that man some money. He's been working hard. Like I said, man, you make it look too easy, Colonel Dreyden Gordon. People aren't going to want to pay you because they go, "Oh, man, what he's doing is easy. No big deal. Yeah, anybody can do that." Not anybody can do that. You just, because I expect a guitarist to look at his guitar, a drummer to look at his drumsticks, look at his drum, a piano player to look at the keys, look at the fingers. No, you don't look at any of that. You're looking at that microphone. You're looking at that crowd dead ahead of you, and you're just playing to them. I don't know if I probably should have asked you, do you play for one person in that crowd, or you scan across the crowd while you're singing your songs? I think that would confuse me if I was scanning the crowd, trying to play guitar, trying to sing a song at the same time, and meanwhile, kind of gazing at all the people in the crowd while I was doing it. Oh, yeah, I think I'd have to pick one person out of the crowd and just kind of sing to them. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. All right. Make sure you look up Colonel Dreyden Gordon on your Facebooks, on your Instagrams, on your X. No, it's Twitter, man. It's Twitter. I didn't even ask if he was TikToking. That's next on the list, I'm sure. But if he ain't on it, you don't need to be there anyway. Thanks again, Colonel Dreyden Gordon. Colonel, I love it. Colonel Dreyden Gordon, for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast again. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.